Yo, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is 10 a.m. We got Sandy from Germany already popping in saying hello. Good morning, my friend, or afternoon, where you're from, I assume.
What time is it there, Sandy?
I think they're, 6, 7? I think it's afternoon, right? Middle of the day? 3, 4, 5? Something like that? It's 5 o'clock
somewhere.
Same
time zone as England. That's 5 hours from us.
Yeah, no, I think it's a little bit further. But it's in there. It's around there. It's around there. Yeah. Nifty new little intro video there. Added some stuff. 4 p.m. So they got a 6 hour difference.
Okay.
That's about what I thought it would be. Yeah. I mean, we are, before we start diving into stuff, obviously Bad Blood is this Saturday night. So this will be a Bad Blood preview as we, we'll talk about the matches. We'll lump in what happened on Raw and SmackDown from this past week involving the matches. And then we'll kind of hit other things we don't talk about afterwards from the shows that we liked and things like that. If you've never been here for like one of our pay-per-view shows, that's usually the format of how we do it. We run through the card. We talk about what happened this week to lead to that, kind of thing like that. But before we move on, obviously you'll see a couple things below us here. Below Drew, obviously down south in the Carolinas and Florida and a lot of places down south, the hurricane has done some terrible damage. Whole communities, whole towns have been, wiped away. Just real devastating stuff. That is a QR code to Cash Wheeler from AEW. His town, unfortunately, had a rough go with it, and he created a GoFundMe. So we have that on the screen. That'll be here. It'll be on Firmly AEW on Thursday, and Beards, maybe some other Love Wrestling stuff as well. I just wanted a way for us or anybody, if you have the means to do so, to donate, because I can't imagine waking up one day and my house is just gone, and it's just terrible, and people need help down there. So help them if you can, or share it out if you can't.
Please do.
That helps too. All right, Drew. Big pay-per-view on Saturday. Feels like a big pay-per-view, even though they're bringing back Bad Blood for the first time in 20 years, man. For the first time in like 20 or so years, Bad Blood is back. Sticking to their 5-match formula. I thought they were going to, we'll talk about it as a whole. But before we do, hey, Lawrence is in the chat saying,
hello, sir.
Good morning. Welcome in, my friend. Before we do, though, NordVPN, we have to talk about a little bit too. Our friends there at NordVPN. Whether you're traveling for business, for fun, if you want to have your settings, you want to know that your data and your Wi-Fi settings will be safe, they'll be protected, NordVPN is the best to do so. They are our buddies over there. If you go visit them, the safest there is, literally the safest there is. Whenever I'm traveling and I'm trying to sign on to all these public Wi-Fis and all this stuff like that, that's when your data is really at its most vulnerable for someone to sneak in, grab whatever they want. NordVPN will protect you and keep you safe no matter what you're doing. And for us wrestling fans, AEW, we're still waiting. They're doing these pay-per-views a month. It's $50 a month for us here in the States. If you use our pals NordVPN, you can change your location at any time and maybe save yourself a little money on the back end there. So go check out our friends at NordVPN. They are the best VPN you can get, the safest VPN you can get. That is NordVPN. Okay. Last night, Drew, the last 3-hour Raw of the calendar year 2024. We don't know. There's rumor about what the time frame will be once it gets on Netflix, but this is the last 3-hour Raw for the rest of the year, which, I mean, it's been 3 hours for, a long time now.
It's been 3 hours since July 20th, 2012.
All right. So over 12 years, 10 of 3-hour Raws.
A couple days after that.
Yeah, over 12 years of 3-hour Raws. Last night was the last one for the next few months. They're going to go down to 2 hours. They loaded up Raw next week. We'll talk about that as well. But
I think it was the 1000th episode.
Raw 1000, right?
Raw 1000 was the first 3-hour one, and then they went 3 hours from there. That was the CM Punk heel turn.
Yes, on The Rock
episode.
He turned on The Rock. I remember.
God, long time. It's been so long since then.
Yeah, I remembered that. Wow, who would have thought? Holy crap! Yeah, because what happened? The Rock was going for a people's elbow, right? And CM Punk hit him with
John
like a forearm
Cena
or something. Yes,
John Cena was fighting the Big Show.
That's right. Okay.
And then, they were gonna do the whole thing, and then The Rock came out to take the spotlight away from CM Punk once again.
Yes.
And that's when CM Punk had enough, gave him the go to sleep, and that was the heel turn. That was really, really pivotal in my wrestling fandom.
It was.
So
The Rock should have never beat CM Punk for that belt, but that's a different time.
Imagine it. Well, we'll see if maybe the final boss and CM Punk have to go, because that'll be quite something.
It will. This Saturday night, Drew, we have Bad Blood emanating from Atlanta, Georgia. We have a 5-match card on our hands. I know what I think should be the main event of this show. It's not what's probably going to be the main event of this show.
We're going to differ on that, by the way, because I absolutely do think that what is the main event should main event.
Okay. Well,
I do.
I think. Okay. Well, I'm going to pick the match order that we're going to talk about here. I'm going to pick it because I have it right here. So I'm going to pick the match we're going to lead with, which I think should open the show. And that is Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus, that is true, Lawrence, a special start time of 6 p.m. this weekend. So an hour earlier. I agree, Sandy. I agree. So we're going to start with the tag match. It's Cody, it's Roman, it's versus the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu. We assume Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa will be at ringside or accompanying them at the very least. We saw on SmackDown Solo Sikoa return, Drew. Randy Orton was cutting a promo in the ring to start the show. Welcome everybody in. He said he's been in the business for a long time. He can count the people he trusts in his hands. And Cody Rhodes is one of those people. Randy calls out Cody Rhodes. Cody gets out there. He says, you know what? And, because Randy's like, hey, man, people are feeling a certain way about the fact that you decided to team up with this guy who's made all our lives a living hell for 3 years. And there's very few people I trust in this business. You're one of them. I need you to come to the ring because I need an explanation. Cody comes to the ring. He says, I might look like a fool for teaming with him, but I would rather be a fool than a coward. He says, Roman gave me his word, and every time he's given me his word before, he's lived up to it. And then Orton goes, all right. I go, it's no problem. Orton says, it's no problem with me unless you make it a problem. And everyone's like, ooh. Mm-hmm. And then Kevin Owens comes out. Now, Kevin Owens, as we could see the week before, and throughout this night. Kevin Owens is not so okay with Cody's decision. But before Kevin can even say a word, we see Solo come back. He thanks all of them for collecting themselves together and saving him time. And he basically just says, you guys for how long have been trying to take us out? It hasn't worked. KO tells Solo to shut up and all this stuff. And then Kevin says, you know what? I'm done with this. Tonight, I want the Bloodline in a tag match with us. And then Cody steps in. And Cody goes, you know what? We don't have to have a tag match. There's 3 of us and there's 3. And before he can even finish, KO goes, no. You got your tag match this on at Bad Blood next week. Why don't you just worry about that? He goes, I'm talking about me and Randy versus 2 of them.
Low broed him.
Yeah. And then that's how that segment ends. Not bad. I like it. And then as the night went on, you know, we start to see some stuff. They're backstage and a very similar thing happens where Cody's trying to talk about the match and trying to talk with them. And KO's like, hey man, no, we're good, man. Why don't you just go worry about your match? You got your match. You got your tag match. You got your partner. Go worry about your partner. Really, really good. And they ask him not to interfere, not to do anything like that. KO leaves. He's like, I don't want you interfering. KO leaves. And then Randy leans in with Cody and he goes, hey. He goes, yeah, it's fine. He goes, if the Tongans get out there, it's clearly going to be 4-on-2. He goes, I'll go talk to Kevin about it. But if the Tongans get out there, like, yeah, we can use you out there.
You know, Randy being the smart one in this whole thing.
Of course.
You know, don't you worry. I'm going to talk to Kevin. If the Tongans get involved, you come out there.
Yes.
We're going to be smart about this. I'll go talk to Kevin about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we fast forward to the end of the evening. It's the main event. It's RKO versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Good tag match, fun tag match. But you know, towards the end, the Guerrillas of Destiny come down. They get involved. Cody Rhodes comes down. He takes him out. He DDTs Tongaloa. He throws Tama aside. Orton hits an RKO. The match is breaking down. Owen hits a stunner. And he hits the stunner, and Cody gets thrown to the outside, and the ref gets distracted. And then Solo...
he gets thrown into the ref.
Yes, he gets thrown into the ref. And that causes the ref to, not pay attention. Solo takes advantage, and they end up pinning Kevin Owens for the victory. Post-match, Randy, KO, and Cody are in the ring, and KO goes right after Cody, in his face, shoves him. He's yelling at him, right in the face. Yeah. He's going right after him. And Randy's in the middle, and Randy's going, hey, come on now, come on. Playing Peacemaker. He's playing Peacemaker.
Yelling at Kevin. No, I told him to come out here.
Yes, I told him. Yeah. And then it all ends. They hug it out. And that's how SmackDown goes off the air. With
you can see on Kevin Owens' face, he didn't really want to do that.
No, nothing to do with it.
He was upset still.
He was.
So here's the beautiful thing.
Yeah,
here's the beautiful thing about this. It's clear Randy Orton is setting up this whole thing, and listen. I saw it immediately. I was like, oh, he's going to talk. He's going to talk to Kevin Owens, huh? Yeah, he's going to talk to Kevin Owens. So, turns out he didn't. He didn't talk to Kevin Owens because he just told Kevin Owens in the ring after he lost the match that he told Cody to come out.
Yeah.
He asked Cody to come out. It's like, no. I told him. If you picked up on that, if you're smart, you noticed that meant that he lied to Cody and he did not tell Kevin Owens that he asked Cody for help. So, which led to that whole big kerfuffle. And we talked about what's going to happen here in Germany. Cody has Kevin Owens and Randy has Gunther. What's going to happen here if one loses, if both lose? It turns out both lost. Yep. We said who's going to be the one to turn heel? Is it going to be Cody? Is it going to be Kevin? Is it going to be Randy? Well, looks like it's going to be both.
And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, Drew, because we had been talking this last little bit since they were teasing the KO thing when he had the match with Cody. And I was like, listen, I don't want it to be KO turns and then Cody deals with it, and then Randy comes back, and then Randy does the same thing. I don't want that. It should be Randy if it's just going to be one of them. But I do think they're both going to turn on Cody now, and I think they're going to be aligned.
And Randy is the puppet master.
Yes,
he's the one dangling it. It's like, oh,
100%.
Look, he's going to be the one, talking privately to Cody, and then he's going to be talking privately to KO. So you're like, I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
And then there's going to be a big blow up, and it's going to be real exciting to watch.
It is. It is going to be real exciting to watch. Now, fast forward to this Saturday night, Drew. Like I said, I do not think this should be the main event. I think the Hell in a Cell with Punk and Drew should be the main event of this show. I think that's what should happen. I don't know what they're going to do. However, with this tag match, I'm leaning that the Bloodline is going to win this tag match.
I agree.
I think Jacob Fatu is going to pin Cody Rhodes. I think that's what's going to happen here. Do we think KO and Randy? Do you think it happens this Saturday? Like, do you think, because we still have a SmackDown on Friday. There's a SmackDown on Friday. We haven't, obviously, that'll be happening. We'll talk, that's going to be before, we won't get to talk about that on air before Bad Blood. Whatever happens on Friday. Do you think they just sow more seeds of doubt this Friday? And so how do you think, you agree with me that the Bloodline is going to win this tag match? So how do you think it goes down? Do you think they win just the numbers game, or do you think KO and Randy get involved to try to even it out at 4-4? But it's Roman, so I don't know if they will, because KO ain't going to help Roman at all.
Why? I think that something is going to happen where Roman is going to get either thrown into Kevin Owens or hit Kevin Owens by accident. Cody's not going to see it, and KO is going to be like, "Oh, I'm fucking done with you. That's it. I had to check the time. I'm fucking done with you. That's it." And he's going to get in the ring.
Yeah,
it's going to be similar to what LA Knight did with Mello. Where it's going to be he's going to get in the ring, and then Cody's going to be like, "What are you doing? Why are you in?" Exactly what happened this past SmackDown.
Yeah,
where Kevin Owens was yelling at him, "Why are you here? Get out of the ring." It's going to be the flip side, because that's what Randy Orton wants. And it's going to be no, I don't think that's happening yet. I really don't think it's happening yet. I think we know Triple H by now.
Yeah.
Triple Paul Levesque, he loves to stretch it out. He does. He loves these slow burns. He loves them.
Yeah, but he did.
A lot of them are good.
I'll let you finish, but I want to give Triple H his props, because he did something on Raw last night and he didn't stretch anything out. And it was something that we talked about. Yeah. So finish this thought first.
But there's going to be some sort of I was literally just going to say the word that my friend there said.
Just popped in and said it.
It's going to be a miscommunication.
Yeah.
But I think that the miscommunication is going to involve Kevin Owens.
So it's going to be between Roman and Cody, but you think it's going to be because of Randy or KO or whatever they're kind of doing.
And they're going to lose as a result of that whole mess. Maybe there's another little infighting, and Randy's going to be no. He's
I would hope. I would hope. Good morning, Joe Pearl, by the way. Welcome into the chat. We love Joe Pearl around here. I would hope this is the end of Cody and the Bloodline. Cody and Roman we'll get to. That we're going to get to that at some point. We're going to have a thing there, probably the Rumble, maybe. I don't know. But I would hope that after this, Cody would move on to KO and Randy. That's his story, and Roman is dealing with they separate after this tag match. But yeah, I think Joel and you kind of nailed it on the head. I think there will be a miscommunication of sorts, which kind of keeps the Roman and Cody thing. They're not. I'm not okay with them teaming at all. We went over this. I don't like this at all. But it is what it is. Like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
It's going to serve two stories, though.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this, the way it's kind of panned out now, a week later. But, like, obviously, you knew we were both like, dude, why are they teaming? Like,
Roman is going to be too involved with the Ulafala, which he already had on his shoulders again. I still remember that, and I ranted about that last month or whenever it happened. And he's going to be like concerned about that and getting the tribal chief moniker and all that stuff, all that heel shit still. And Cody is going to have the Kevin Owens situation to deal with, and that's going to cause them to lose. And now it'll be Roman and Solo until Survivor Series, that's the next pay-per-view after this, right?
No, Crown Jewel is a Saudi show in between.
Oh,
I think at the end of the month. I think it's still in October technically. I think it's at the end of the month, but Crown Jewel is in between.
So Crown Jewel will be Roman versus Solo.
Jacob. Oh, you think one? Okay.
And I think that's when The Rock is going to come back.
That Crown Jewel. All right, maybe we'll see.
And then because that's going to set up. I still feel like it's the Bloodline War Games thing. You might not feel that way, but I still have that.
I mean, I feel like that's the match we all thought, but I feel like they're not. You got to get to that soon.
The Bloodline. This is why I think this is the main event, because this is telling a years-long story between Cody and Roman. They battled it out many times. 2 WrestleMania main events. This whole Bloodline story is the story in WWE still. There's some great stories on Raw. Punk and Drew, great story. Gunther and Sammy, great story. None of them hold the top echelon of storytelling that the Bloodline does in WWE right now. And it's just, it's a fact. It's a fact. That's the biggest thing in this company right now is the Bloodline. And Roman and Cody have been involved with each other for 2 years.
Yeah.
Sure. There's no way this doesn't main event.
Look I think it is going to main event. I just think that would be the wrong decision. That's all. But it's Roman and Cody. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to main event. I just feel like Punk and Drew should. That's the most, to me, Punk and Drew is that is, I agree with you. I do think the tag team match will main event. I would love it to open and but I would probably go the other way. But we got Tanner popping in the chat saying, good morning. What's going on, Tanner? How are you doing?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I think Hell in a Cell should start the show.
I think that's what'll probably happen. I think that'll probably happen. But man, it's great. Yeah.
And the reason,
right.
I just wanted to say too, the reason why I was saying that miscommunication will be the reason why they lose, but not the direct communication between Roman and Cody, but the communication between Roman, Cody, and Kevin Owens. The Kevin Owens involvement is where the Bloodline is going to take advantage of that and win the match. But that's going to be for next Friday's SmackDown. Cody coming out, and I think the turn happens next Friday. And that sets up Cody, Kevin Owens, Randy, that little new program for the title to the next pay-per-view while Roman deals with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Because they've got to separate now.
Yeah, they have to. They can't. This is it for Cody when it's specifically dealing with Solo and that Bloodline. This is it. And Joel saying, yeah, they are in Cody's hometown and Roman is Roman. Like, they're the draws. So it is going to main event. I understand special attraction matches and things like that of that nature, but when a regular match, I thought the same thing when I was at Money in the Bank. You had the 6-man tag main event. Why? Why would that be the main event if nothing special was like, if you're announcing that as the main event, when you have Money in the Bank matches, you have world title matches, and that's your main event, you are creating. I felt like at Money in the Bank, a lot of people were expecting something huge to happen in that main event because that was the main event. And then nothing special happened in that main event. And everybody was like, yeah.
Well, sure. Also because of what Joel said.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But anyway, all right. We have so there's 5 matches, 2 SmackDown matches, 3 Raw matches. So the second SmackDown match is for the WWE Women's Championship, and it is seeing Nia Jax defending her title against Bayley. Bayley last week won the number 1 contendership match against Naomi. We got Josh Robinson, our pal, popping in the chat saying hello, friend.
Hope go follow well. Josh Robinson's channel, by the way.
Yes, 100%. Please do that. So Bayley on SmackDown had the number 1 contenders match with Naomi. Bayley won that match, a very good match between Bayley and Naomi. I actually thought something was going to happen that would have caused this to be like a triple threat match. That's what I thought was going to happen, but they went the route, and Sandy, I think that's what they're doing. They went the route of just having Bayley beat her. So we're getting Bayley versus Nia again. Naomi and Bayley in the back had a little, they passed each other, and you could tell Bayley was a little like, But Naomi seemed cool about it. And Naomi was like, no, it's fine. Like, if I would have beat you, I would hope you'd be supporting me too. Like, I'll make sure Tiffany doesn't get involved and all this stuff. English is bad. It's okay, Josh. We're just happy you're here. We're just happy you popped in. You said hello. We talk about AEW on Thursdays, Tuber. So come back on Thursday and we'll talk.
He did ask the second question is a WWE.
I said if the WWE did a one-night stand, like a Nitro event.
I'm all for bringing old sets back.
I am too.
And doing that.
Remember when they used to do the Retro Raw? Like once or twice a year, and they would have the old barricades and the old WWF logo. I used to eat that up.
They stopped that around like 2015, 2016.
Yeah. I used to eat that up. I was a sucker. Ha ha! All right. That's a good one. That is true. It is becoming clearly, I would say one night stand Nitro is given, I would say one night stand Thunder, maybe, if anything. The vibes I'm getting about Collision lately. Although the Outrunners rule. So Bayley, Nia, and we got to talk about the segment they had out back with Tiffany and Nia, because they have gone a completely different way than I thought they were going to go.
It's beautiful
when it comes to these two. And Tiffany Stratton, by the time she cashes in, is going to be a mega babyface.
Oh yeah,
mega.
And you know what? I wasn't for it at first. You remember I said, "Oh, I don't know if she."
I don't know if that'll go that route, but I loved that backstage segment between the two. I was like, "Holy crap!"
I'm glad you mentioned it because I wanted to talk about it. And she just grabs her by the throat.
Yes.
And
I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "Okay."
I went.
That's abuse.
First of all, there's a lot of people who need to get their minds out of the gutter because I know that other people were thinking the same thing, and just like I was like, "Wow, this never did I think that this is what this story was going to be." This was brilliant.
Very good.
As soon as she won that title, Nia became a mega heel. Just completely shitting on Tiffany and anything that Tiffany does. And this segment on Friday really sealed the deal. Tiffany is going to cash in on, maybe she'll cash in at Bad Blood.
I think I would like them. I think they'll stretch it out longer with this because I think you can really if we start seeing, not all the time, you don't want to oversaturate it. They are WWE. That's what they tend to do sometimes, but you don't want to oversaturate it. But like, if she's going to start treating Tiffany like that, you could stretch that out for a little bit to the point where it's like the crowd is like, yeah, like hit her, like like. I think they stretch that out a bit, but yeah, by the time she cashes in on her, I think she could maybe tease it or even do it. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but I think you can hold that. I think you can drag this. We talked about earlier, Triple H, he likes dragging the stuff out, Drew. This is something I think, seeing that side of Nia, grabbing her throat like that, like that is an abusive, that like there, you could drag that out to the point where the crowd
and
is
you know what? I will say,
begging Tiffany to do it. You know what I mean?
I will say the really incredible storytelling that they're doing with Tiffany and her being the Money in the Bank holder, it makes up for what they did with Drew and the men's Money in the Bank.
It's fair. It's fair. It's fair. And I do like how it feels. I like that the women's Money in the Bank is the only Money in the Bank briefcase around still. I like that. Like they kind of got the men's out of. I mean, obviously, however you felt about that, but they got the men's out of the way so we can focus on the women's. And I think they're building a story here where they potentially have a new like top of the card star in their like babyface star in Tiffany down the road, when they're doing this. And I liked it a lot. So we fast forward to Saturday. It's Nia Jax. It's Bayley. We expect to see Tiffany at some point. Do we expect to see Naomi as well? I mean, who do you have? Do you have Nia retaining here?
I do. Bayley? I do have Nia retaining. But I don't know what's good. Is she gonna? Maybe so. You know what? I think maybe she won't. She won't cash in, but there'll be a tease again.
Well, you said so. Sandy earlier in the chat said that Naomi heel turn incoming, and you said no.
No,
so
I don't.
You don't think they do that? You don't?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No, right. Because they're going to have her there to help with Tiffany, and they're going to have a match on Friday.
Yep.
Tiffany and Naomi are going to have a match on Friday. I don't see her turning heel, especially with her sometimes involvement at this point right now with Bianca and Jade.
Mm-hmm. They did reference her. Yeah, they did reference the big three as well in a backstage segment where Tiffany was ragging on.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if I missed something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was yesterday. I think I saw like a lot of people for some reason just shitting on Jade and Bianca being hosts of the pay-per-view. Am I supposed to not like that for some reason?
I don't know. I didn't even see. I don't pay attention when people start going on those things. But I didn't even see anything about it, to be honest with you.
I think it's just totally fine thing for them to do.
Yeah. I did see I did see Ricky Starks tweet something like in support of Jade. So I guess people were talking. I don't know. I kind of stayed away from it. I guess. Listen, they're two big stars in the company. They're not having a tag match on the show. Who cares? I'd rather see them on the show doing something than not on the show. So
I agree.
I like both of them a lot. Okay. Like they're going to have 2 or 3 segments throughout the night, maybe set up a future tag match with somebody for them, maybe down the line or something like that. Who knows? Who gives a shit? It's going to be a minuscule part of the show. Like, get over it. That's how I feel. Sorry if you're one of those people. I'm actually not sorry. Grow up. But who cares? You know? Do you know, like, how? I'm not going to go on a diatribe, but like, how do you even get to that mindset where something like that would literally bother you? You know what I mean?
It's a very online mindset.
It's okay to like, I didn't like that or criticize something, whatever. But like, why would that bother you? Of all things, like you got to have some sort of life if something like that is bothering you, honestly. But anyway, I digress.
Look at the accounts. Look at the accounts on Twitter. You'll see. You'll see they don't have lives. That's why they're involved in it like they are.
Like Jacko 7633222440. All right, so that's it for the SmackDown portion of Bad Blood. The rest of the Bad Blood card is all from the Monday night show. And 2 of the 3 matches revolve around the Judgment Day. We are, I think, getting 2 blow-offs to major feuds here. The first one is just a straight-up one-on-one singles match. It is Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I would rather see them on the card defending the titles, clearly. But I mean, them being I just don't understand I don't know.
So I think it's an interesting concept that should be, that should continue, because if you have a title holder that's not defending the title on the PLE, have them host a show. Get them on the show.
Well, we'd have a lot of options this time because neither men's world title is being defended at this show. It's like we'd have all the options on this. I don't know. Yeah, but no. But yeah, I have no. They used to do hosts every Monday on Raw for years.
Oh yeah,
literally for years. Who cares? I do agree.
I
do agree with Ophelia's point, though, that like I understand if you were like, "Hey, I'd rather just see them wrestle," but
well, I mean, of course,
that's not an option.
To watch them wrestle.
Yes, but that is not an option. So, would you rather see them do something or nothing? I mean, all right. So, Judgment Day. These sneaky bastards. That's happening on Raw next week, Andy. That's not on the pay-per-view. That's on Raw next week. So I'm trying to get to my notes here because we're going jambled because of the pay-per-view here. So we had a 6-man tag last night on Raw. It was Judgment Day versus the LWO. Good 6-man, fun. The LWO is great, dude. They're like really good in the the crowd gets behind them in the ring, like Cruz del Toro, like those 3 dudes. The crowd is behind them when they're in the ring.
I didn't say this on the show a couple weeks back, but there was a backstage segment where LWO confronted somebody. I don't remember who it was, and I just see this like clean shaved dude, in the back. I'm like, who the hell's that? Who's this guy?
Del Toro's new fancy look.
Yeah, he used to have a beard, I think, forever. And then all of a sudden he's clean shaved. And I was like, who is that dude? I didn't know it was him, genuinely. And then I think his name came up in something. I was like, oh, he used to have a beard, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, I think he got hurt and he had to go away for like a major surgery, and he came back with the new clean shaven look. Raul Mendoza. I still call him Raul Mendoza.
Oh, that's who that was.
Yeah, they changed his name to Cruz del Toro. In NXT. But this was a good little 6-man back and forth. Liv Morgan towards the end of the match does her interference thing, but then so earlier in the night, they showed a clip from earlier in the day. Drew, that's what happened there. And Dom and Liv were near his car. And Finn Balor called Dom, and Dom stepped away as the other Judgment guys were getting there. And over the phone, we heard Finn say, hey, can you let Liv know that the business that we talked about is taken care of? I got some travel issues. You know how it goes, but I'll see y'all soon. So that happened earlier in the night. We haven't heard or seen from the Judgment Day since. We have this 6-man tag. Liv Morgan interferes at the end. And then all of a sudden, we see Finn Balor show up out of nowhere. He shoves Joaquin Wilde off the top rope. Judgment Day right into JD McDonough's move. The Devil Inside.
Really cool. I like
Very good move. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Judgment Day gets the win. So that's when we see Finn show up. I thought Joe Tessitore sold this like $1 million. He's great.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, he's great. Better every week.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
I did not know of him at all because I'm not into sports. Sorry for all the sports people. Well, that sport in particular. And this guy, especially at the end of the show, holy shit.
Yeah, he's good.
Is good for this role. Absolutely. Really happy with this hiring.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very, very good. Then we come back from commercial, and the Judgment Day is still in the ring. Balor grabs a mic. He calls Damian Priest out. He said he's going to rip his heart out. Oh, no, he said Damian said he was going to rip Finn's heart out, and Finn looks at the camera. He goes, well, you know me, like, I don't have a heart. And he says that I'm going to prove that you needed Judgment Day way more than we ever needed you. Then Liv grabs the mic. Liv got good heat last night when she was cutting this promo. She grabbed the mic.
Yeah.
She said she's going to prove that she's a home-wrecking, man-stealing, heartbreaking, title-taking, greatest women's champion of all time. And then we see Rhea Ripley. Rhea comes out. She says she knows all
loud pops. It's really awesome.
Yes, she does. She says she knows all about Dom's dirty little secrets and calls to bring the shark cage out. We had somebody that wheels the shark cage out. He goes, one of those secrets is that Dom is extremely claustrophobic. So at Bad Blood, when he's locked in the cage, soiling himself, she said, he'll have the best seat in the house to see his little girlfriend realize she's not as good as me. All right, hold on. And then Rhea says she's done talking. Damian Priest shows up in the ring, takes out Judgment Day. He's fighting him off. Rhea goes and lays Liv out with a headbutt, and she just beats the shit out of Dom. Rhea. She's just whipping him into the shark cage, kicking him. She chases Liv Morgan out around to the back. She comes back to beat up Dom. She's beating him up. She opens the cage door. She throws him inside it. She tries to slam the door, but Liv comes out of nowhere. They brawl. And then Finn in the ring. Finn hits the coup de grace. The sling blade on Priest, and then they all get the numbers game down, and he hits 3 coup de grace on Damian Priest. And that's how this segment ends. So it kind of ends with Rhea getting the one up on Dom and Liv, but Priest ended up taking a beating from the other members of the Judgment Day. I thought this was a good little segment to get some, everybody loves a brawl. Everyone loves a beatdown. So, add a little bit more juice to these matches. But we got these 2 matches. Let's talk about Damian and Finn first. I said it last week. I am loving Finn Balor right now.
This version of Finn Balor has been sorely missed.
Yeah, he's rejuvenated. You can tell he's got some energy to him because he does feel like the leader of this group. Like he does feel like he is the leader. And you can tell that he's really clicking. Like this feels like main event, top of the card Finn Balor that we probably haven't seen since he was in NXT. I'm digging this Finn Balor. I'm digging it. I'm not scared of heights, Sandy.
Oh,
but I wouldn't be thrilled to be up there. I wouldn't be thrilled to be.
I mean, I wouldn't.
For the whole match.
I feel like I could probably be in a shark cage because it's enclosed, so I can grab onto everything. Because I'm going to need to do that.
I would just sit down. I would just sit down.
I don't know if you saw my tweet yesterday, where there somebody showed like an arena. Yeah, they were like in the nosebleeds, and and it looks like legitimately like this is the stair, like it's a ladder, the staircase.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's where we had to sit. We had to sit up there SummerSlam weekend. When we went to SmackDown, it was like me, Ella, it was a bunch of us, me, Ella J, Jose, and Pluggo, and we had to sit up there. Like when we got up to leave, if I misstepped, I could have died. Could have just fell right down.
Yeah,
to my death.
I can't. When I go to a new arena for a show, I cannot do an upper level seat because I don't know what the upper level looks like for that very reason, because I may go up and never come back down. I cannot deal with those like spiral staircase style staircases that are like look like ladders.
Yeah,
I can't. That the Barclays Center is like that. Cannot be up in the nosebleeds for the Barclays Center because I'll just stand up and I'll just tumble. I'm just gonna fall to the floor. It's such a creepy feeling. So I'm always like lower level in new arenas until I scout. Like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad. So I can get a cheaper upper level one for the next time.
That's funny. Who do you Saturday? Oh boy, do we? So this Judgment Day Rhea Priest thing has obviously been going on since SummerSlam. Do we think this is the end? Or do we think that this is going past this? Because there's a lot of talk. We're talking about Damian and Finn, but this is, Finn has been avoiding him. He said it right after SummerSlam. He said, I'm going to wait. I'm waiting before I go after you. Like, I'm waiting. We're here now. It's one-on-one. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning. I think Priest is going to win this match.
Dominic Mysterio's toilet paper on WWE show.
Hilarious. Joe
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the fact that he mentioned that, because that's been on there for a bit. Like, that's not new.
I did not know.
But like the fact that the way he said it too, where he was just like, people spend $12.99 on it made me laugh. But who do you think? Who are you leaning to win in this match here between Priest and Balor? I'm kind of torn here.
I think Finn is winning.
That's where I'm leaning. But I have all bad guys winning right now.
I don't think that Liv wins.
I would agree with that. Well, I don't want to lump them in together, but yeah, I feel like Finn wins, but Rhea wins to balance it up. I feel like Rhea is gonna win the women's world title back. Although Dominic being in the Shark Tank, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I feel like Rhea is gonna win the women's title back, but I do feel like Finn Balor is gonna win the singles match with Priest and Finn. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm leaning when it comes to
I don't think both Finn and Liv or Priest and Rhea win. I think it's going to be one Judgment Day, one Terror Twins.
Yeah, there won't be a sweep or anything like that.
And I think that Priest is going to lose, and I think Rhea is going to win.
Yeah, I'm probably there with you as well. I do think. I feel like this shouldn't be the end of Priest and Finn, but I feel like not forever, but I feel like for now it should be the end of Rhea and Liv. That's how I feel. I feel like Rhea and Liv, Rhea gets her win back, the title back, and then, you could do one more rematch and then kind of finish it there, but I do feel like Priest and Finn have way more in the tank for a feud than these two, because this is the first match we're getting one-on-one with them too. So yeah. I feel like
I don't think it'll necessarily be over after.
I don't think so either.
And I'm fine with that, because while the Bloodline is the one storyline in WWE, Judgment Day is 1B. So I'm totally cool with it.
I'm going to be honest. We're going to talk about it after we start talking about Bad Blood, but there is another storyline going on Raw that might be the most intriguing storyline in the whole company for me currently, to be honest with you. All right. So we both have, we picked the same for everybody. We have the Bloodline winning, we have Nia winning, we have Finn winning, and we have Rhea winning. So let's see if we do a clean sweep of us picking the same. Now we are here for the Hell in a Cell match. It is Drew McIntyre. It is CM Punk. Going into last night, Drew, I didn't think I needed another segment with these two talking to each other or anything. Like, I thought you could have just got to the Hell in a Cell. But last night, that was some good stuff. Some good stuff. I loved Drew in the all black. I loved Punk in all white. I thought the contrast looked great. I made a thing on Twitter where I said, I have a feeling on Saturday night they're both going to be wearing red, because I'm expecting blood. And I'm expecting a lot of violence in this match on Saturday. I thought that segment last night with them was excellent. I thought Punk cut a great promo. I thought Drew was good. It shot this right back up to being like, oh, I want to see these two rip each other's heads off on Saturday. I am very much looking forward to this match. It's been a little bit over a year since we've had our last Hell in a Cell match. I think this is the right feud for it. It's the right match for it. It's the right two guys in there. And I think they are going to destroy each other, Drew.
I agree. They will. And my heart wants Drew to win, but I know Punk is going to win.
I agree, Sandy. happy to see the old not red cell is back. Is back. The old regular cell.
What I would like. So this is
Yeah.
this is what I would like. I would like, just like Cena in 2012 had his fall off year before he had the big title win and everything.
Yep.
I actually would like Drew to win this match, and I want Punk to sort of spiral out a little bit from it.
Okay.
Not turn heel, but just be like, oh, I really thought I was going to win this match. And maybe like take a little, not take time off because he took off enough time with his injury. But I feel like having him, I mean, it's not going to make sense for him to lose and then go for Gunther. But
yeah, that's my thing, because he did cut that promo a little while ago. That was like, I'm coming for you in the gold, Gunther. So I expect him to go that route after this.
I really just wish that Drew waited on, like, I wanted it to be, the story to be, Drew didn't come back until Punk faces Gunther, and then Drew screws him out of the title win, just like Punk did. Because now that this is the definitive ending between them, the next title that Punk goes for, why isn't Drew preventing him from winning the title? It just doesn't make sense, you know? Like, I would have rather, even though Bad Blood makes sense for the Hell in a Cell match,
Yeah,
I would have rather had Punk be facing Gunther now. Drew off TV since their last match in Germany. Have him return, cost Punk the title. Then they do the Hell in a Cell at Crown Jewel at the end of the month for the definitive ending. Because how does Drew never get to screw Punk out of a title win after Punk did 3 straight title potential victories? He screwed him out of that 3 times, and not one time Drew gets to screw Punk out of a title win?
I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how they do it. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to, because I think Drew going to the, and again, I don't want to, but I think Drew doing the stuff with the family and mentioning the dog and mentioning the wife and the bracelet and all, like getting personal at that level, I think was Drew's way of getting even with Punk from taking, in Drew's mind. Because I think it has to be the end. It has to be the end for
No,
this
it has to be. It's gone on for 10 months now.
Yes. And right now, yes. I think Drew should win this match. But I don't think he's going to, because I do think that CM Punk will be the challenger for Gunther after Sammy. I do think CM Punk is probably heading in that direction. Because of the
I just wish that
a few months ago
it was booked differently, to where the last thing should have been the Hell in a Cell match is a result of Punk getting screwed out of a title win, like Drew was.
But I think the whole thing started because, listen, CM Punk was in the last 2 of the Royal Rumble. CM Punk was going to get his title shot at Mania by winning the Royal Rumble, which Drew hurt Punk at the Rumble to prevent him from getting his Mania moment. And then Drew said he prayed for that. He wanted that. I think that was the whole basis of why Punk's kept screwing Drew out of title matches.
Okay.
Was you took that from me.
It was a bit of an overkill.
I agree.
After the second time.
I agree. But I think that was the whole basis of that, was I was going to win the Rumble. I was going to go to WrestleMania and get my Mania main event and get my title at Mania. And you took that from me. You injured me, and not only did you injure me, which that happens, but you told everyone and me that you wanted to injure me, and you hoped and prayed that. I think that was
I
kind of
guess.
because
I just feel like you hate this man so much that you go, "Oh, I know what I'm gonna do.
yeah,
I'm gonna bide my time." He's calling out Gunther. Gunther's gonna have a title match with him. I'm gonna screw him out of that.
yeah,
I think
good.
I think that would have been because the injury was an accident. The injury wasn't planned.
No,
It
the
wasn't
injury
a
was an
case,
accident, but
you
then
know.
but Drew,
They
once Drew
turned it
comes out,
into,
exactly.
storyline-wise, they turned it into, "Oh, he injured him on purpose, and he prayed for it," and all that
Once
stuff.
Drew comes out and says he prayed for it, then that, and I did it and I prayed for it. Then it's like, okay, well, you did that on purpose, And I think that's kind of the
Yeah,
whole.
I just wanted, like, that that one time Drew screws Punk out of an actual definitive title match, not just an accident being thrown into a storyline at the Royal Rumble. Just like, okay, Gunther, he calls out Gunther. Gunther and him have their match, and then he's gonna win, and Drew comes and does what Punk did to him 3 times. He's been waiting for that title since he came back to the company. He got screwed out of it at Royal Rumble, but he did not get to have a one-on-one match for the title yet. Since he's returned, this is his time. This is the time he's gonna win. Up, well, here comes Drew, and now it gets taken away from him. Now they do the blow-off match, and it's a real. I mean, it's already heated. It's
Oh yeah,
I mean, they did a great job with it. No, Sandy, it can't still happen. It's got to stop now. As much
I
as I
do think
love,
this is it.
as much as I love, and there was a part of me. Although I will say, there was a part of me that said, Adam Pearce, he's really trying to hammer it home that this is it between the two of them.
Yeah,
It made me go, is it? Is there going to be something else that happens after this? Because as we know now, Adam Pearce put out a video. He said Raw is chaotic.
but he wants it that way.
He wants it that way, which
Yes.
all right, but it's I don't know if that's a really great way to run a show, but okay, that's your prerogative. Maybe he does screw him out of a title. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like it's just at that point it'll be too much.
It's fair. That's fair. I'm not. I understand. I think Punk's gonna win.
So do I. I want Drew to win.
I would want Drew to win because yes, but I think Punk's gonna win. I think he's gonna end the feud. He's gonna win. I do think it's gonna be beautifully violent. It's gonna be wonderful. I think, but I do think Punk wins. But I'm expecting Bad Blood to be another good show for WWE, and then they have lined up next week's TV shows to be monster shows as well. Sandy, I agree. I do think it is CM Punk.
Yeah, we're getting multiple title matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm going to really enjoy Raw and SmackDown next week. I'm going to enjoy 2 hours. 2 hours on a Monday night. It's going to be kind of nice.
Yeah, it's going to feel weird, I think, at first, almost. Don't you think it's going to feel weird?
No. I've been praying for it, and it finally happened.
Yeah, no, I want it. I want it. It's going to be amazing. But I'm just
WWE, do not make SmackDown 3 hours. Please don't make SmackDown 3 hours.
Listen, by the time we get to January 1 of next year, Raw will be 3 hours on Netflix and SmackDown will be 3 hours on USA.
No,
you just need to sit down and prepare.
WWE.
You need to sit down and prepare for it. It will be how it goes. That is just what it's going to be.
December 31st, 2024 will be the last time there's a Firmly WWE then, because I will not watch 6 hours of TV a week.
Yes, you will. Yes, you
will. Absolutely not.
It's going to be good TV. It's going to be good TV. They're going to be home.
December. Oh, you know what? You know what's
Raw's on New
really
Year's
funny?
Eve. Raw's on New Year's
December
Eve.
31st is Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Yeah. So the Raw, the 30th will be, yeah. And then NXT eventually by next year will be 3 hours on the CW because they're debuting tonight. CM Punk's going to be there tonight. I know it's tomorrow for Sandy because he's in the future, but like NXT is tonight here, the debut on CW. CM Punk's going to be there.
He's already in Tuesday.
He's already there. Yeah. He's in the future.
Yeah.
He's in, but NXT is tomorrow for him. Tonight for us, but tomorrow for him.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, because he's 6 hours ahead. So 8 o'clock for us tonight is like 2 a.m. for him.
But isn't it going to happen at the same time?
Yeah, but he's in Germany. So when it's live for us at 8 p.m., it's tomorrow for him.
Okay. Yeah,
on,
I got it now.
Stick with me here. Stick with me here.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's fair. It's early. I haven't had my coffee. All right. Let's talk about some stuff that happened on Raw and SmackDown they don't have matches on the pay-per-view because there was some good stuff. And on Raw last night, the opening of Raw was some good stuff. Drew, the blue on that IC title. Let me tell you, Drew, that brought back nostalgia for me. That looked like a title from the 90s, man. That looked like, and I was like, oh my God, look at that.
I see the title and I'm like, there's something different about this.
Oh,
why? What is different about this?
I loved it.
Yeah, it looks much better. But
color. Man, let me tell you, the IC title as it was, I was just like, man, every time I would see it, I'd be like, it's not the worst I've ever seen, but like, for the IC title, like it's so bland and boring and just black and gold. Like, but then the blue, it made it, the WWE title they had.
Don't you shit on black and gold.
No, I love black and gold, but I thought the title needed something. For the IC title, that's my favorite belt of all time, the IC title. Like that, all my favorite wrestlers were IC champ. Like that's my, and the adding of the blue, man, that brought back like an old school belt feeling incredible. I love that.
Yeah, it definitely needed that burst of color in it. So I'm really happy that they did it.
Then we get main event Jey Uso going through the concession stands through the crowd, and he had his son with him last night, which I thought was very cool as well. That was a cool moment that they did with his son. He gets in the ring. Emotional from the start, Jey Uso. A lot of pauses, which I thought were good. I thought this was good. It was very good. He says it's his first singles title. He's going to fight every week for it against anybody who wants it. He thanks everyone for having his back, and you can tell he starts to get emotional. And he's doing the yeet thing. He's just like, I appreciate y'all. He's doing all this thing. He goes, I love y'all. Thank you for loving me. And he's like saying all these things, and it's very sweet. And you can tell it means
he's very emotional about it.
Yeah, you can tell it means a lot to him, and good for him. Good for him. And he talks about how special walking to the ring with his son was. Says it wasn't easy for him. He said, my family made it hard for me. My cousin Roman made it hard for me.
First time he's mentioned Roman in a while.
Yeah. He said, my whole life, I've just been a twin. People didn't get to know me. They didn't try to know me because I was just a twin. And he said, but y'all know me now. And then he takes off his glasses and he talks about his mom. And he says, my mom's always been my biggest fan. And she always used to tell me, go get it. And then he kind of shows the belt and he goes, well, Ma, we got it and we did it. And that was a nice little moment as well. And then we get Braun Breaker. And Drew, I loved it. Braun Breaker comes out. He says, I'm out here because I respect the title. I go, and now I have the same level. He says, now I have the same level of respect for you, Jay. He said, I'm not going to spear you. I'm not going to blindside you. I'm not here for that. I just want to shake your hand because I always told everybody that the better man would be the one who leaves with the IC title. And he said, and on that night, you were the better man. And he puts out his hand. Jey Uso shakes his hand. And as Braun is going to leave, Jey Uso goes, hey, wait a second. And then he goes, there's a lot of dogs here in Indianapolis. Or Indiana, wherever they were. He said, there's a lot of dogs here tonight. And the crowd did the barking for Braun. And that's how the segment ended. I thought this was a perfect way to start the babyface run of Braun Breaker. Because what did we see later on in the evening, Drew? All right, first of all, I want to hear your opinion on the Jey Uso promo because I liked it a lot.
Yeah, they're already selling that IC title with the
I would
blue
bet.
on the shop. So
I would bet.
that's cool. Although the picture of literally when you go into the shop, the first picture is of Jay with the old one without the blue.
Oh, the old
yeah. But yeah, it's really nice to a friend of mine last night DM'd me and he said there may be he was like, you know what? The "You Deserve It" chant is worse than the "What" chant. He DM'd me that last night. And I said, you know, I generally I tend to agree with that, but I think it's the worst if you give it to just anybody. Like if Sammy would happen to win against Gunther, he doesn't deserve a "You Deserve It" chant. He's won multiple singles titles. He's already main evented WrestleMania. He's done a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
"You Deserve It" chant for Sami Zayn at this point, I don't think so.
No. He deserved it when he won the IC title from Gunther at Mania the next night, and he got it.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. Jey Uso deserved every second of that last night.
Jey Uso, after 14 years of being in this company and being a singles guy for the past 2 years, absolutely deserves "You Deserve It" chance. 100%.
Yeah.
Which he then agreed with me on that. But I really, the emotion of it is beautiful because Jey Uso doesn't usually pause in the way that he paused last night, and it was because he was going to start crying if he started talking.
Yep.
So we have when he officially split from Jimmy last year, and they did the first night of his current theme song, I hated it. Did not like it. It's like, what the hell? It's just me, Oos, and and I didn't like it. I didn't think the yeet thing. I didn't like the yeet thing. I didn't like any of that stuff. I was like, oh god, they're saddling him with some stupid thing, and that's it. And he's never gonna win anything, and that's it. That really, really changed for me, especially hearing it live when I was in Philadelphia this past WrestleMania weekend. It's like, oh my god, it's like really hype, and then doing, it's so, it's like one of those really good crowd participation type of things, and I was like, you know what, I don't hate it anymore. And it's really it's something when it's a guy like him who has legitimately scratched and clawed and has fought for the fans.
Yeah, agreed.
And he is genuinely, from any single person I've heard, he's a great human being. He's done wonderful things for his family. He loves his son. You've seen his son in multiple things. And I really, really happy for him, and I think that he deserved this 100%. And that promo last night was like, this is the result of the fans being behind you since you left the bloodline, doing yeet with you, singing the song, arms, the whole thing. And this is like one of those rewarding things as a fan also, that there's the guy you've supported and he got the victory. when it mattered, finally, because he went for the title quite a few times. Lost. He lost against Roman. He lost against Damian. He lost his IC title
Lost against
match.
everybody. Lost
His
Money in the
IC
Bank.
title match against Gunther.
Yeah. He lost Money in the Bank. He lost King of the Ring. He lost everything. Every big match he's been in, he's lost.
Yeah.
That was my one gripe. Was he needs to, and it happening was, it was good. And you're right. He deserves everything. But that was my one thing was like, dude, this guy looks like a guy that is super over because he is. But like now in the ring, you need to tell me that he is by making him win some stuff.
Yeah.
And him winning that title is really good. I'm very excited to see what his IC title reign looks like. Because he did say in that promo, he said, I'm going to fight for it every week. I'm going to fight for it against anybody who wants it. So I'm hoping that we start to see, I would love to see him defending that thing weekly or very close to that. I think that would be incredible. So obviously what happens with Braun Breaker happens in this J thing. Now we'll wait because this kind of ties into a bunch of stuff. So later on in the night, Sami Zayn is interviewed backstage. He says that he's the disrespect he's getting from Gunther is really bothering him. He said, "You think I'd be used to it, given how many people around here have doubted me, but it really bothers me." And he goes, "But Gunther, one thing you need to know about me is I'm relentless, and I will not stop until I get my title. Like I will not stop coming after you." So then later on in the evening, Gunther makes his way, which we did find out during the entrance of Gunther that unfortunately Ilya Dragunov tore his ACL at a house show over the weekend in a match against Gunther, and he's going to be out of action for 6 to 9 months. So that stinks. Dragunov rules. So that's a bummer that he's going to be out for a while with that injury. I did see, though, that Gunther quote tweeted the tweet from WWE announcing that injury, and he simply just said, "Weak things break." That's what he said. Let me tell you. Give me that.
Oh,
Give me
God.
Ilya and Gunther next year somewhere when Ilya's back. Let's go, dude. Weak things break, he said. So Gunther enters the ring. He gets on the mic. He's saying that, being world heavyweight champion is fantastic. He loves every aspect of it, the money, the luxuries. He goes, but the one thing that I really hate right now is that the insult of me having to deal with Sami Zayn every week. He goes, it's becoming more and more annoying. Sami enters. He starts going at Gunther saying, give me the title match. I know you won't do it, and I know why, because I beat you at WrestleMania, and you're afraid that I'll beat you again. And then Gunther says, I am afraid. He goes, but I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid of my reputation. He goes, losing to a better man wouldn't have been a problem. He goes, but losing to you has been the biggest embarrassment of my career. I said, I was so busy embarrassing you in front of your own family that you ended up embarrassing me. And you did the same. He goes, because I brought my family to WrestleMania too. I didn't just flaunt them around like you did to get sympathy from these people, which I loved. I love that line from Gunther. And then he says, do you know what my father said to me after I lost to you? And he speaks in his foreign language, or not his foreign language, but he speaks in his native language, I should say. And he says it, and then he says what he said was, I flew all the way from Vienna to Philadelphia to watch you lose to that bum Sami Zayn. And that got a rise. He goes, I'm the goal. He goes, unlike you. He goes, your family's used to watching you fail. He goes, unlike you, I'm the golden goose of my family. He goes, I'm the guy. He goes, I'm something you'll never be. The hero of my family. You're not that. And Sammy goes, you know what? You're right. My family has seen me get knocked down. But you know what they also see? Me always get back up and move forward and keep moving forward. He goes, what'd you do when you lost? You disappeared for months. He goes, you disappeared for months. And now, he said, you're showing your dad that you're a coward. And then that is it. Once he said that, Gunther took Sammy out. Starts beating him up. They go back and forth a little bit. But then he hits a huge powerbomb on Sami Zayn. And then Gunther grabs the mic and he goes, "You want your match, Sammy? You got it." And that's how that goes. Now we find out it was a very good promo by both guys. I enjoyed it a lot, Sandy. We find out that match is going to most likely be the main event of Raw next week as they go down to 2 hours. That'll be the main event of Raw next week. So it won't be happening at the pay-per-view. But the reason why I wanted to take care of that first is because later on, Imperium is backstage and they're getting interviewed. But before Gunther can really say much, Braun Breaker walks into screen. He apologizes for interrupting and he says he just wanted to see for himself, and he's staring at the title. And he goes, Gunther laughs and says, "Wow, look at this. He really is a badass." That's what Gunther says. And Breaker says, "Yeah, you're right." And he goes, "And you'll find that out sooner than you think." And he walks away.
Yeah, that was good. So I would like my back is right here, so everybody can go like this, because I literally said that this is exactly what was going to happen. It's like, okay, everybody can do this. Pat me on the back. I said there's going to be a brawl, and that's going to be Gunther getting on the mic and going, "You want your match? You got it." And that's literally what happened.
He really did. I think it was once he started talking shit about his family. That was it. The whole thing.
No.
That when he called him a coward, he said, "You're showing your dad you're a coward."
He attacked Sammy first.
Yes.
He attacked Sammy first, but it wasn't until Sammy got the better of him that he got really mad.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because he did that really, really cool power bomb. Just like boom, slammed him on the mat. It was like, oh god. It was like, and he gets on the mic and he says, "You want that match? You've got it." So pat me on the back, everybody. Yeah, so, and the backstage promo is that's not the only time we're going to be mentioning that backstage promo, because something else was going on in that backstage.
We're going to talk about that next.
We're going to talk about that now.
Yeah. So, I thought what they did with Braun Breaker last night was excellent.
Braun Breaker, babyface, 100%, all for
100%. Yeah, because they turned the thing with Jay at the end. They turned that into him being a respectful babyface, and then teasing him and Gunther down the line. Oh, baby!
And everybody was waiting.
They're not messing around. They know what they got. It was funny because
you could see it in the crowd. People were like, don't go for the handshake. He's going to attack you."
Yeah. I was watching it. I'm watching it, and I'm literally openly talking to my TV, going, "Spear him." And the next line that comes out of Braun Breaker's mouth is, "I'm not going to spear you." And I was like, "Damn it!" I was like, "But
no." But I thought that was. I was like,
I thought it was great. Yeah, I know. I did
he's saying he's not going to do it.
Yeah,
but the action is going to speak louder than the words.
Yeah, but I am all for Braun Breaker babyface. He already is kind of that. The crowd already digs him. You can tell they do the barking even as they heal, like just to the moon, dude, to the moon. I'd have him win the friggin' Royal Rumble. Anyway, so okay, now we're going to talk about it. So earlier in the night on Raw, in the first hour, we get a one-on-one match between Rey Mysterio and Xavier Woods. They are having themselves a good little match, and this match ends. So Mysterio floats over, and it looks like he is going to try to hit maybe like a reverse DDT or something like that. And Xavier Woods accidentally tears off Rey's mask. And Rey immediately, goes to cover his head. And Xavier Woods doesn't even think twice about it. Really? Rolls up Rey, gets a 1-2-3 on a schoolboy. And then he kind of gets out of the ring and he's playing it off like, "Oh, that was an accident. I didn't mean to do that, but what am I supposed to do?" Rey puts the mask back on. He's yelling at him from the ring. He's like, "What am I supposed to do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, whatever." Fast forward a little bit later.
Brilliantly done.
Very well done. Fast forward a little bit later, and Xavier Woods is in the back, and he runs into Kofi Kingston. he thanks Kofi, says, "Hey man, thanks for letting me go out there by myself. I appreciate that." And Kofi goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "I have to ask, man." He goes, was that thing with Ray's mask on purpose? And Xavier Woods is like, "Of course not. Ray's the best." He's like, "How dare you? Why would you think that?" He goes, "I can't believe." He goes, "And I'm up. You didn't even congratulate me on my first big win and blah, blah, blah." And Kofi goes, "No, you're right. You're right. Congratulations. I'm sorry." And then Kofi says, "But hey, I was chatting with Jey Uso, and Jey Uso offered me an Intercontinental Championship match." And you can see Woods, you can see his face. He's like, "Fucking again, everyone, fucking not me. Not me again." But Kofi then says, "Hey, I told you you'd be in charge, you'd call the shots and stuff like that, but I told Jay that I thought you should have it." He said, "So next week it's going to be you and Jay for the IC title."
And
so next week on
his face,
and then immediately Xavier Woods is like, "Yes, I can beat Jay." And he goes, "I can beat Jay. I can beat Jay." Like, "Yes, let's go." And that happens. He goes, "And I know I went out by myself, but like later on tonight, I'd like to be out on there when you got your match later on tonight against Gable." And Kofi goes, "Absolutely, man." So then we fast forward later. We have Kofi Kingston versus Chad Gable. Good little match as well, as you would expect. And the end of this match, everyone starts getting involved. The Creeds are involved. Ivy Niles involved. Xavier Woods is trying to even it out a little bit. He's taking out the Creeds, doing some stuff. And we see Ivy Nile. All right, so Ivy Nile, someone gets on the rope and Xavier pulls them off. The ref is getting distracted by Ivy Nile at this point. One of the Creeds, no, I think it's Gable actually. Gable comes to the ropes, and Xavier Woods
Kofi was going for a Trouble in Paradise.
Yes, and
which
Xavier
is a move
Woods
where he has to start moving while the opponent is coming towards him. But Xavier prevents Gable from coming towards him.
He thinks he's helping Kofi, and he grabs Gable's arm or leg, or grabs his leg to trip him up, which then ruins the timing of Trouble in Paradise. So Kofi misses it. Gable turns around, sees this, turns back at Woods, laughs in Woods' face, and Woods is back out there like, "Oh shit." And then he hits Chaos Theory on Kofi, and Chad Gable beats Kofi 1, 2, 3. Now, Woods is playing it off in the back like he's beside himself. He can't believe, so he slides in the ring. He's apologizing profusely to Kofi. And that's how that ends. But later on, during that Braun Breaker Gunther crossover, in the background, you could see Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods arguing with each other in the background, or at least having a strong conversation with each other.
Yes. It's happening.
I'm telling you, man. We've been talking about the New Day for a while on this show. For good reason. I am digging this, Drew. I'm digging it, man. I like it all.
So you want it now?
No, I'm still gonna feel bad. I'm in on it. The story's got me. Like, I'm in on the story. Like, I'm in, yes. But I don't want the New Day to break up. I've been very adamant about that. But the story they're telling, yeah, I like it.
I wish that the anniversary was a bit closer and not like 2 full months away almost.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they're gonna do now. Until then, I don't know what they're gonna do. Because if Kofi and Woods are like at odds now, how do they stretch this out? Do they have him turn before that and then maybe make him rethink his heelish ways on the anniversary? Maybe that's when Big E comes out and he's like, "Please stop. You've been beating down Kofi. This is our anniversary. We're supposed to be brothers. We're supposed to love each other." So I don't know. Maybe they do the turn early, and then the next month and a half is Kofi and Xavier going at it for the anniversary. Then Big E comes in to play peacemaker.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be all right with that.
Because I don't know what they're going to do. Like, how many times is Xavier going to accidentally interfere in a match or be the reason why they lose? Like, it's not going to be an accident after a while.
That is true.
Yeah. Can we do 2 months of that? I don't think so.
No, something different, like, but I thought that they've been telling this story really well to this point. So I'm very interested to see where it goes from here, but I am very much digging what's going on. Like the whole time, it's just like, oh, Woods, no, come on, man. Like when he did the Ray mask, it was like, oh boy. It was like, okay, all right. And then the thing with
But the
Kofi,
other
and it was
thing
just like,
too,
oh,
the other thing too is that I can understand when it was the Odyssey, Kofi, and Xavier thing,
mhm,
there was the story there. It was like, oh, well, Woods is gonna turn because he's feeling left out.
mhm,
But now that Odyssey's removed and it's just the two of them, they did tweak the story, I think, in a good way to it feels more natural now instead
mm,
of forced. And what I mean by that is having it be Xavier be very upfront, talking to Kofi, getting out his frustrations,
mhm,
and trying to genuinely, in his mind, genuinely do the right thing, but because of a little bit of a mishap, because of some sort of an accident, it turns out that that wasn't the right thing to do in that moment. His personal view is that he's in the right, which he
yeah,
is right now. The two things that he did on last night's show were accidents.
mhm,
Were not like a different heel turn that happened on that show that was definitely not an accident. Um, it was definitely, oh, and this is the even beautiful thing. This is sometimes Triple H does good stuff, really. They booked that accidental fall. Xavier picked up Ray to
mhm,
do some spot, but he fell.
yes,
And then that led to Xavier not realizing what he was grabbing, and and that's how the mask came off.
yeah,
If that fall didn't happen and he just took the mask off, that's a definitive heel turn.
yeah,
But because, oh, I just fell back, I'm trying to get out of this spot because Ray was trying to pin him. Oh, I got to get out of the spot. I'm grabbing onto something. Oh, it's his mask. And he didn't know that it was his mask. But it was, oh, that's the really heelish thing to do. How dare he take his mask? But it's like, wait. I just fell. I didn't know what was going on. It just happened, but it's a match. I have to win the match. So I had to pin him. I'm sorry. It had to it happened that way. And then when he rolls out of the ring and he's like, he's like looking at Ray. He's like, no, I didn't mean that, but the point of a wrestling match is to win the match. So what are they supposed to do?
sure.
He's supposed to hand Ray the win, even though his mask came off.
No,
Then,
absolutely not. I have no, yeah, him winning the match after it happened, I think was the most logical. It's just,
but it's being booked as, oh, people are not happy that I won the match in that way, but it's not like it
correct.
was intentional.
No,
So then when the thing happens later on with Kofi in Kofi's match, it's like, well, that's something a million people have done to help out their tag partner to get a victory. A million people have done that.
yes, they have.
But it just happened to be at the specific time where he was going for a Trouble in Paradise and needed Gable to go towards him.
Yep.
Now it's like, oh, well, now you just screwed up my big win.
Mhm.
So this is really being well done, this story. And
Yeah,
I can't wait this is one of the things I'm most looking forward to every week now.
I agree. I love it. I love it. You mentioned another heel turn that happened last night. Earlier in the evening, as Bronson Reed was as Braun Strowman was getting interviewed, about the last monster standing main event at the end of Raw. Miz walked up, as we've seen kind of Braun and Miz kind of going, chatting with each other these past few weeks. And it looks like he's about to say something to Braun, and we hear R-Truth. And R-Truth has returned. He gets a good little pop. He has returned. He's saying, hey, y'all, I'm back. He goes, I got us a match. They go, Miz is like, I can't believe you're back. Why wouldn't you tell me you were back? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, you took 5 tsunamis. And R-Truth goes, yeah, I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all. And he goes, well, why are you here? And he goes, I work here. And R-Truth is doing his thing. He goes, but I don't like how Karrion Kross has been picking on you. And so I texted Adam Pearce, and I got us a match tonight against A-Up. And Miz goes, A-Up? He goes, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, I got us a match with A-Up. And he goes, yeah, he goes, what do you say? He goes, they got like a puppet and a witch with them.
It's just a wizard and a witch.
Oh, yeah, a wizard and a witch with them. He goes off that. And then it's AOP, blah, blah, blah. And Miz is like, okay. We fast forward to the match. R-Truth starts the match. And they're doing it a little bit. He does the 5-knuckle shuffle. He's doing all his stuff like that. He goes to tag Miz. Miz gets in the ring. He's fired up.
Pulls the old Ric Flair Sting.
Yeah. Sure does. He's firing up. He's all doing good. And then he just turns around and he kicks R-Truth right in the face. Immediate. And then he just walks off. And the Authors of Pain hit What a Rush. And they get the victory. Last week we talked, we had been talking about R-Truth. And we had said on here, I had said, and you agreed. So we both agreed. We said, once R-Truth comes back, the same night, Miz needs to turn on R-Truth. We don't need to stretch this crap out. Like, just have it happen. And they did so. R-Truth came back immediately. Miz turned heel. Good. I think the Miz could use a rejuvenation. He's a good heel. See where it goes. But I thought that was well done the way they did it. I was like, thank God they didn't wait around. Like, just do it. They were clearly leading up to that before they did the Bronson Reed stuff with Truth. I don't know if Truth was needed to heal or was banged up or I don't know. But whatever. I'm glad they did it right away. And I thought for a heel turn, it was pretty good. It was pretty good for a mid-card heel turn. And then last night, Drew, we had this main event.
Ooh.
Last monster standing, Braun Strowman, big Bronson Reed. Hell of a main event, dude. I could watch, again, I've said it every week, every time. You could do this weekly, and I would be like all in. Immediately, announce table gone. Immediate. Like within 2 minutes of this match, choke slam through the announce table. See you later. That's gone. We come back from commercial. We're getting people are flying off the apron through chairs and tables. Bronson hit an avalanche Death Valley driver through through a table on the floor. They speared through the little ring keepers area that they always do, and then they even speared through the next barricade that went into the crowd. And they had obviously they had planned people there to kind of
people thought that was a legitimate thing. No, that was not a legitimate thing.
No,
they had to have all those people out there for the spot that happened a couple minutes later.
Yeah, they did that. They have security out there. They got all these extra people out there. And then we get the spot, Drew. Bronson Reed hits a superplex on Braun Strowman, and the ring collapses. Chad Patton falls to the floor out of the ring. The security guard's down. Everything's going on. The steps are in the ring at this point. And Chad Patton gets back in the ring, and he's counting to 10. And he's about at 6 or 7. And we see the return.
See somebody coming from the back is like, who's that?
And Bronson Reed, oddly enough, is climbing up using the stairs as leverage to pull himself up. And we see someone sprinting down. And it is the returning Seth frickin' Rollins. And right as the referee is at 8, he hits the blackout on Bronson Reed onto the steps and stands on the steps posing as Braun Strowman gets to his feet at 9. And Braun Strowman wins the last monster standing match. Good shit, Drew.
Oh.
Good shit. It was just 20 minutes of fun, just destroying everything, beating everything up. The Seth Rollins return was great. And Raw went off the air almost immediately after Braun Strowman won. Like it just went off the air, like before
Yeah.
we could see, like, very, very well done. Very, very well done. Oh, I don't know, dude. Would we? You think she comes out and confronts Rhea maybe? After Rhea wins the belt? I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
But
I didn't think about that.
Seth being back, very good to see him. It's been a few months. I'm very excited for Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. Very excited.
Yeah.
I thought this main event ruled, man. These two guys, I could, like I said a dozen times, or I could watch them fight all the time. I thought this was very, very a lot of fun, and I thought the ending with Seth was perfect. I loved it. I loved it.
This was a beautifully booked show, I have to say. Like, so many decisions were made to perfection. Perfection.
I agree.
With throughout the show, multiple things throughout the show. And this was like the cherry on top. This match ruled. This match humped, even, some would say. It was legitimately a chaotic, and I hope Braun is okay, because like he was limping. There was a commercial break, and when they came back, he was like limping. It was like at one point towards the beginning of the show, I was on Twitter. Mm-hmm. I think you're talking about NordVPN, and I started like chuckling to myself because I think it was Sean Ross Sapp that tweeted that the moment of Braun Strowman running while limping to hit Braun into the chairs on the floor, and he said, I don't remember. He compared it to was that first Men in Black movie, the guy who turns into an alien.
Yeah.
The way he was like,
like the way he would walk.
Yeah. And I was like, I hope Braun is okay. And I really was like, this was just big. You know what? Lawrence said it right there. Big boys doing big boy things. And Edgar, that's the character in the Men in Black. It's just everything was so well done. The barricade spot, to have all the security be out there to help the fan.
Yep.
And then because Bronson Reed grabs Adam Pearce, they swarm him. Like, no, you got to get off. And that's the perfect setup for Braun Strowman to go off the top rope.
Yep.
Just everything was done. The steps in the ring, the collapse of the ring, the steps are there. That's what Bronson is using to grab, to get up. Here comes Seth Rollins to give him the curb stop right on top of the steps. It was perfect. It was
unbelievable. I loved it.
Everything was perfect, and I hope that Braun Strowman is okay. I didn't see anything about him being injured, but I know he had just had an injury and was out for a while. I don't remember what it was. I think it was shoulder or arm or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was something like that.
But so that's with a potential leg injury. Now I hope I hope that is not the case. So the show ended perfectly. It was a 5-star Raw for me, honestly. As the last hour show, 3-hour show, I don't think anything missed, really.
I agree. I thought it was a great Raw. I thought it was a great go-home show to Bad Blood on Saturday. I loved it. A little bit of news that came out of SmackDown is AJ Styles is coming back this Friday on SmackDown. We haven't seen him in a few months or so. I know he did that match over in Japan, but we haven't seen him for a little bit. He is returning. So that'll be good to get him back, kind of see where he falls into place on the SmackDown side of things.
Something else interesting. So Cody has been posting live event where he's going to be, at the shows.
Yep.
On his Twitter. And about 30 minutes ago, he posted the October schedule. And firstly, I did not know that SmackDown was coming to Brooklyn October 25th. That's very exciting. I'm probably going to go to that.
Yeah, why not?
But Raw is in Philadelphia on the Monday that week, so October 21st, Monday of
Mhm.
that week. But that's a date that Cody Rhodes is advertised for.
Probably the dark match, I would guess.
I don't know. But that's
Maybe.
interesting though.
Yeah, you
Because
never know.
they do have him on dark matches sometimes, so that
Yeah,
could be potential. But when I saw it originally, I was like, wait a minute, he's the SmackDown guy.
he
So
is.
what's the Raw? What's that about? Um, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Brooklyn, New York, October 25th, SmackDown. I think I'll be going to that.
Yeah, why not? Why not? That'll be fun. Um, all right. I mean, tonight, obviously, I know we don't talk a lot about NXT. Could be, could be, could be. That would be a good
Yes, two
way to do
Raws.
so.
It's the October 21st Philadelphia Raw, and then the October 28th Hershey, PA Raw.
That makes sense because I think that's the 2 weeks leading into um
Hey, I'm fine with it.
I do think
Listen. I like him, and he's a friend. Phil Lindsay, a Chicago man over on Fightful.
hmm,
He's always talking about the AEW shows, the WWE. Everything's coming to
yeah,
Chicago
Chicago.
every single year. Let's give New York some more love. Let's
I
give
don't mind.
Boston
I
some more
like New
love.
York. Yeah, Boston, please. God, we were supposed to get SummerSlam the COVID year. We haven't gotten anything huge since. Like, what the hell, bro? We're routinely one of the better groups of fans. Um, yeah, man. I think Bad Blood is this Saturday, so next week we'll be talking about that, and obviously Raw and SmackDown and all that fun stuff. I am intrigued to see where AJ Styles kind of fits into things over on SmackDown because they're telling some good stories over there. So I kind of want to see where he fits in. But other than that, anything else on the WWE radar that we missed or that you wanted to talk about, Drew? I feel like we've hit the important stuff on the shows that weren't involving the pay-per-view card.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
we
we
did.
missed anything.
I
But
don't
yes,
think so.
I know we don't talk about NXT a lot on this show, but tonight is the big debut on the CW for NXT.
I have it recording.
CM Punk will be there.
I'm gonna be watching something else that's gonna be a total shit show on CBS tonight. But
Oh, the debate, the vice president
yeah,
debate. Is that?
yeah, I gotta see that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but
That is
yeah,
happening. That is happening this evening.
but I will check out. I will check out the first CW
Yeah.
NXT to see what this looks like.
Well, I was gonna
Apparently,
say.
according Shawn Michaels says it's going to be a big different
Oh,
thing.
I
So
think it is too. And speaking of Chicago, that's where it is tonight. So it's in Chicago. CM Punk will be there. So if anything newsworthy happens, we could touch on it next week when we're here. But Drew, you know the drill. Let the people know where you are, where they can find you. We'll do our thing and we'll get out of here and be back on Thursday.
you can find me at the Drew Nicholas, as it says right there on the Twitter machine. And you might this is the Firmly WWE show, but you might find me tomorrow night in Pittsburgh at AEW's 5-year anniversary show. I haven't 100% set it in stone yet, but I'm gonna put some things together today into tonight. Might go and get me a rental and fly down to PA in the morning tomorrow. Because it is a 6.5-ish hour drive.
It's pretty good.
So I would like to get there and maybe rest for a little bit at the hotel and then get to the show. So we'll see. But I will hopefully be going to that show because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff on the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite tomorrow.
Sure is.
And yeah, Oliver Smith, hi. You said welcome back. I don't know what that was in reference to.
I don't know.
But hi.
But yeah, so that'll be fun. Obviously on Thursday at 10 a.m. Drew and I will be back talking firmly AEW. Tomorrow night is the 5-year anniversary show. We have Will Ospreay versus Ricochet for the international title. We now have Bryan Danielson defending the world heavyweight title against Okada
Who's
tomorrow
also
as well.
defending the Continental title too.
Yeah.
It's a title for title,
It's
but
title versus
it's
title.
only the Continental title for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, so that tells me that it's going to go past 20 minutes and that title will not change hands. I mean, neither title will change hands tomorrow, I assume. But still, two huge matches. The 50th anniversary. Wouldn't be shocked if we hear maybe a media deal announcement during that 5 years as well.
Right.
Britt Baker, DMD, is returning tomorrow night as well. They are in Pittsburgh. She will be back as well. Big show. Drew and I will be here Thursday morning at 10 a.m. to talk about it. Stay tuned to our socials at Firmly LW as well, because it could be if Drew decides to go, it might be a recorded show on Thursday. It might not be live, but stay tuned to our socials. We'll announce it so you guys know what's up. Either way, we'll be here in some form 10 a.m. on Thursday. You can follow me right here at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms. Thursday night, after me and Drew chat some AEW EST, my friend. Yes, sir. I have Between Two Beards, the flagship here at Love Wrestling, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. So be on the lookout there. But other than that, for Drew, for myself, thank you, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you very, very much. And until Thursday, you guys know the drill. Peace out.